Some people doubt that humans are changing the climate. Others believe vaccines can cause autism, and a few even insist the Earth is flat. Why, in the face of mountains of evidence, do people believe false ideas? Join me for this short taster lecture on debunking scientific misinformation. I'm Laura Kranz, an assistant lecturer in Science and Society at Te Herenga-Waka, Victoria University of Wellington. Together, we'll explore why misinformation matters, why people cling to false ideas, and what we can do about it. Some myths are harmless. It probably doesn't matter if you think that goldfish have a 3-second memory. But other myths can be harmful to ourselves or wider society. If you believe vaccines contain toxic ingredients, you're less likely to vaccinate yourself or your children. How can people make good decisions if they're basing them on false claims? Informed decisions require accurate information. So, why do we fall for misinformation? Sorting truth from fiction is hard, especially when we're flooded with so much information. Our first challenge is that our personal experience of the world can be misleading. Catching a cold after an immunisation can feel like the vaccine caused it. Our second challenge is that no one can experience everything firsthand, so we have to rely on the word of others, family, friends, scientists, influencers, to form beliefs about the world. And they're not always right. We don't have time to deliberate in depth over everything people tell us, so to cope, we use mental shortcuts or heuristics. Heuristics are helpful for speedily judging claims, but they can also lead us astray. I'm going to take you through 3 example shortcuts. 1. Truth bias. We're inclined to believe what other people tell us, even when it's wrong. If a classmate says humans use only 10% of their brain, which is a common myth, I probably won't demand proof, and, in the absence of any other knowledge, I'll simply accept it. Hearing the same claim repeatedly makes it feel even more credible, an effect called illusory truth. 2. Trust. We're biased to believe people or sources that we trust. If a trusted teacher insists that humans use only 10% of our brains, agreeing feels easier than doubting. 3. Worldviews. Ideas that align with our worldviews and values are much more likely to slip through unchallenged. If I see myself as someone who lives naturally, a claim like organic food is always healthier feels credible, as it easily fits with my pre-existing beliefs. Social media feeds into this, trapping us in echo chambers that show us more of what we already agree with. Now, you might be thinking, isn't education the answer? It can help, but only a little. Research has shown that more educated people are only slightly less likely to believe misinformation. Encouraging people to think critically also reduces belief in false claims, but is still only part of the story. So, how do we change false beliefs? Changing beliefs is easier when nothing personal is at stake. If I tell you goldfish remember things for months, not seconds, you'll probably just update your belief. But shifting beliefs tied to identity, like with many important science issues, is harder. If you work for a petrol company, accepting climate change might mean admitting your livelihood is part of the problem and risks isolating you from your co-workers. Rejecting the evidence can feel safer. Psychologists call this motivated reasoning, reaching the conclusion we want rather than the one best supported by facts. So, what can we do to debunk harmful misinformation? Unfortunately, there is no magic fix, but there are things that can help. First, we can try stop misinformation before it sticks, a strategy called inoculation. By warning people about myths ahead of time and showing them how to spot misleading tricks, like cherry-picking data, we can build mental antibodies against misinformation so that people are more resistant to believing false ideas when they do come across them. Second, we can maximise the effectiveness of corrections for debunking false beliefs that people already hold. For example, we can use trusted messengers and repeat corrections, which helps the new information stick and reduces the likelihood that people fall back on the old myth. But when false beliefs are tied to identity, facts alone seldom shift them. We need to engage in meaningful conversations, listen to people, understand their beliefs and values, and try to find common ground. People are far more receptive to messages if they feel heard and respected. Finally, pick your battles. If a myth isn't widespread or harmful, your energy may be better spent elsewhere. So, next time you're talking with someone who believes what you think is false, before you bombard them with facts, pause, listen, try to understand their view, and check where you got your own information from. You might end up having a far more productive conversation and a bigger impact on the way both of you think about the topic. If you're interested in putting science in context, come explore how science shapes and is shaped by society, and how we can share and talk about scientific ideas. Study for a Bachelor of Science at Te Herenga Waka, Victoria University of Wellington.